Krishna.
Yeah. Krishna.
Yeah. See, like Nachiketa was hardly 7 years old. At that age, what is he?
Can you wave your hand, Krishna?
Yeah.
I'm unable to spot you here. Or at least can you click on the raise hand button? I am still not able to spot you.
I have put the chart.
Krishna, there you are. Okay.
Yeah. See, my question is like, I always think about this. Nachiketa was hardly 7 years old. What can he understand about all the enjoyments in life, power, all those things? How can he be wooed into that? Like if you and me, like when we were 7 years old, we didn't know so much about money, power, and all those things. So, but they take Nachiketa as an example for rejecting all the pleasures and asking for something higher.
Yeah, correct. So how can a 7-year-old boy, 9-year-old boy, how can such a person appreciate all these ideas of enjoyment and things like that? I don't know. The child prodigies are there, right? How can a 3-year-old baby, hardly a, you can't even, boy or girl, know all the Melakarta ragas, 72 Melakarta ragas are there. How can that boy know this in such a young age and didn't attend a single music class? All he or she did was listen to this Sangeetam going on at home. And this child is able to pick up. Kalyani Bade goes on. Hamsadwani. Vatapi Karnapatim Paje. So how the child is able to do? So I think we have to give some allowances here. And Nachiketa is different. That's all. So he's already. So that thing is there. So Krishnaji, we have to understand that Viveka is also karma phalam. So purva punya palat, punya karyat, vivekam also is part of that. So that thing comes. Some children have it. You can see it. I've seen children around lives, they have seen it. That you can't attract certain children with some goodies. They don't get attracted. Okay, they can't get attracted with goodies. So it's not surprising at all because we are able to see it also. So that is what comes out of that story. That this boy is just absolutely. I mean, 9 years old is what we normally say, and the age is not mentioned in the Upanishad. And we have to make some inferences because 7 years the karma has to be for Sandhya Vandana, etc. You must be 7 years, so it must be more than 7 years. Maybe that some guesses are made there. So the person has enough opportunities to see what's going on, plus a good dose of viveka is there. So no need to be surprised. I don't find it surprising at all. But anything is possible. Anything is possible. Correct? We should allow for anything. Yeah. Yeah, Swapna, go ahead. You can see. You can't unmute yourself, is it? Yeah, go ahead and unmute yourself now.
Okay, this is verse 42. Ya Imam. So is it Yan plus Imam?
Correct. Yam plus Imam. Yam Imam. So
what does Yam mean?
Go ahead.
So what does Yam mean? Yam Imam? Yam?
Yeah. So there. So Yam is that. See, if you carefully look at Yam is Trilingam. And then Pushpita is Strilingam, correct? And Janma Karma Phala Pradam, Strilingam. Kriya Vishesha Bahulam, Strilingam. Okay. So why Strilingam? Because this Vacham, Vak is Strilingam there. Okay. And so Yam also Strilingam. Yam means Yam Vacham Pravadanti. Those who speak like that. So they are heaven bound, etc. Yam. Those who, that those that pronoun is used there. Pronoun, I think, correct? That is Yam.
Dhanyavada.
Imam means again Strilingam. Imam Vacham. These words. Those who speak these words. Yeah, Yam, Imam. Okay, Mohan Sai, go ahead.
Guruji, so this is talking a lot about Veda, the karma, karma kanda of Vedas. Now, if we just bring it to our lives, so all of us, the Bhogaishwarya thing about is always there in everybody's life. So, what is the fine line where we don't? How do we decide the fine line where we don't extend this to that level where these two slokas are saying? How do we say like, okay, uh, this is this is enough for me, or this is what I'll do. This is my life's fate, and I have to now move into a different direction, because every day having money, not having money, having some job issues or anything, these all come in all our lives, and at that point of time we try to do uh, we try to pray to God, we ask something, and sometimes we do special things also, like these karma, whatever was given in the. So the thing is, where is that we should say like, okay, this is now enough? How do we decide that?
Yeah. So here it is actually made. We will cover that. So he's going to talk a little about karmanyevadikaraste, etc. comes. So that idea of karma yoga will come, and that karma yoga attitude is what it's going to do is Krishna is going to make some statements. He's going to say things like, do actions. Of course, you will do actions expecting results. But he says, you don't have any idea about this. Let the results be very positive. He says, even that kind of a desire you should not have. Like that, Krishna is going to say. So he's talking about a shift completely. It's a paradigm shift, right? So there, when you do that, and when karma yoga becomes the goal, the karma shuddhi becomes the goal, then automatically all your pursuits of bhoga and aishwarya, what will happen to them? It will become controlled. It will be whatever you need, because the goal is not bhoga and aishwarya. The goal is not bhoga and aishwarya. Therefore, the question doesn't arise. When should I stop enjoying? When should I stop accumulating stuff for my family? This question will not arise. Correct? Will not arise. Because you've gone beyond that. We're talking about karma yoga here. So that's the paradigm shift. That is what Krishna is going to be talking about. Correct? It's like saying, I need to have some food at home. How much food I should have at home? Suppose somebody asks. What will you do? Suppose your son asks you, young son is there here. How much food? Why don't we get more food? Suppose you say. Then what will you say? Enough. We've got a stock for 1 week. Fruits are there, vegetables are there, refrigerator, it's all stocked up. That is enough. We can get again 2 days later, 3 days later, 6 days later, we can get. That's it. So you have an idea. So by then you have the idea, and the child doesn't have an idea. And so like that, you get what you want. I mean, whatever is appropriate. But then karma yoga becomes pradhana, most important. Okay. Yeah, Vaidya is there. Go ahead, Vaidya.
Yes, Jaykumar ji, namaste. I don't know if you heard the sad news today about Tapan Ghosh ji.
Yeah, yesterday night I heard. Yeah, I heard.
So you had mentioned his name in our last class, I think.
Yeah, yeah,
That he was suffering from COVID.
yeah.
Oh, sorry to hear that.
Yeah, so we've been praying for the last 1 week, and I heard that he was slightly improving about 3 days ago, but somehow he succumbed to his infection. So it's very sad, very sad. He's given a lot. He was given a lot to Hindu Dharma, and West Bengal came to light because of him. And so this idea of persecution of Hindus, which was rampant in West Bengal, he was the one who highlighted, and he was the one who inspired people there to stand up against it. So he literally had an army of Hindus. And when he used to have a meeting, there will be lakhs of people. And so even the chief minister and others were threatened by him, even though he is no threat at all to her. And because they don't arm themselves, they are just people who are helping Hindus. And he's done so much. He's protected so many women who were abducted, protected so many temples. And because we used to get messages, I'm talking about 10 years ago, 10 plus years ago, we used to get constant messages about how this temple was vandalized, that temple was vandalized, etc. And so, yeah, it's a sad day for us. And I think we are praying that his family is helped in the process and not suffer much, and has the strength to go through this. And at the same time, we are praying that all Hindus also gain clarity about the status of Hinduism today in India, and also other parts of the world, and really stand up to it. Thanks, Vaidya, for bringing that to our attention. Yeah. Okay, Haraprasad, go ahead.
Yes, Mahodaya. I have 2 questions to ask you. The Nanyad Sthiti. So it is Na Anyat Asti. And what is the 4th word?
Yeah. Na anyat asti iti.
Okay.
Iti.
Yeah.
So it is just a quotation. It puts all that na anyat asti in quotes.
In quotes. Got it. And the second question is, okay, you have the 4 Purusharthas. You will do your best to understand the jnanam required for the Parama Purushartha. And at the same time, you want to do very well with 100% effort for the first 3 Purusharthas also, but with the full understanding that the karma paladhata for the first 3 is Ishvara. Can we do that?
Yeah. So yes. So that is exactly what Krishna will also say.
Okay.
That you can pursue, and in fact you have to pursue Artha and Kama. You really don't have choice. But then, where is your commitment is the question. Where is your commitment? Are you clear about Antakarana Shuddhi? Are you clear about moksha? Correct? So that is what is being asked here. And so then Artha and Kama becomes secondary. Artha and Kama becomes secondary. And you are no longer going to run after Artha and Kama.
Okay.
And to a point where this moksha purushartha becomes primary, so important that things that people normally seek, you will not be seeking. Okay, that is what will happen. Correct?
Yeah. That may come slowly, the fourth Purusharthas, but if the immediate need is for the first three, but keeping fully in mind the phala for those things is Ishvara Ichcha, and that understanding.
Correct. Exactly. So you have to. That's why karma yoga is so important for all of us. Karma yoga is important. And in fact, Swami Parvadhyananda ji says, Jaykumar, even jnana yoga is not needed. Karma yoga, karma yoga, karma yoga. Keep that in mind. And so the rest will come. Okay? Jnana yoga, jnanam, etc. is there, of course, very important. But karma yoga is crucial because that attitude is so important in order to, in this path, in this journey, karma yoga is critical. And that is what we all need to develop. Correct. Prasad.
Appreciate it.
Okay, Prasad, go ahead.
About karma, what are the aspects, if I may call it as, are attributes? What I mean by that is, one example is like, okay, I am a living being who does that. And I do ethical, moral aspects, for example. So like that, what are all various attributes of karma itself? Am I clear?
The most important, I don't know if you want to call attribute, the most important facet that determines karma is free will. Free will. And so we can see that. We can see how of course we are different from animals. So therefore our actions are very well planned out, and we have an end in view, and then we do actions to achieve those ends. And we also see children, when the child is born, no free will, and then the free will there also slowly develops until the child begins to exercise its free will, right? So terrible too. So free will in full form, correct? No parents are just driven crazy, driven to the wall, to the corner by this child. So free will. So free will is very important. Once free will is there, then ahankara is full blown. And so one kartum shakyam, akartum shakyam, anyata kartum shakyam. This is key. Free will means that. Means you can do, you need not do, or you can do it differently. And you have all options available to you. And another aspect is karma will have results, two kinds of results. Drishta palam and adrishta palam. This cannot be avoided. Every action will have these results. Cannot be avoided. No, I did a lot. I studied a lot and I didn't get the result I wanted. Well, that can be explained because you studied a lot, you worked hard, etc. My business did not succeed. If you say, well, we always bring in karma. Karma is constantly active. So not only my free will based action that I did now is there, but the free will based actions that I did in the past, which have resulted in adrishta palam, and that palam also fructifies and puts either helps me, or it can act as a barrier, pratibandhaka, to what I'm doing that I'm not aware of. So all these are possible. So that is the uniqueness about karma. And so and of course, karma will produce result, and it cannot produce what is already existing. This is the thesis, Vedanta, right? What already, its results are always finite. Always finite. Parikshalokan karmachitan nirvedam ayat. Nasti akritaha kritena. If what you are looking for is Atma, which is yourself, which is the whole, which already exists, that which exists cannot be produced by karma. No action can produce the whole. This is the idea. Very fascinating. Then what can produce the whole? Well, the whole cannot be produced anyway, because it already is. It is what is. It is. And I am that is. I am that. And since I don't know that, knowledge is what separates me from that result. And so, or rather, ajnana, ignorance is what separates me from that. So therefore, this karma is one side and knowledge is the other side. Karma is always opposed. These two are completely different. And we say karma binds, knowledge removes the bondage. Karma binds. Very interesting. That's why karma yoga is needed. Karma yoga. We'll talk later about karma yoga. We'll give some examples and we'll get a better idea of what this karma yoga is. So, I don't know what's in the back of your mind, Prasad, but I hope this helps somewhat.
Jaykumarji, quick question about the free will. Is there such a thing as free will, because that itself is influenced by your vasanas, right?
Yeah. Yeah. So, correct. Vasana is always there. Vasana colors every thought of mine and every inclination of mine. Even my desires. Even the desire. You go to a store, you go to the mall, and you want to buy a shirt. And you like certain colors. You don't buy something that you don't like. Nobody goes to a store and buys a color shirt that they don't like. Not possible. Why? Hey, variety is the spice of life. Why not buy something that you don't like? Huh? Why is it not possible? I don't know. I don't like these kinds of colors. That's all. So that then why do you like that? Why do you like only these colors? That question you don't have an answer. Vasana is always there. But you have to use your free will to acquire that shirt. Free will is needed. Correct? Vasana is there. Vasana driven free will.
So it is qualified. So
Yeah, it's of course. Free will is qualified. Free will is inhibited also sometimes. Why inhibited? The child has a lot of free will. He doesn't want to study. The child never wants to study. Which child wants to study? You please tell me. Show me the child who says, I want to study. I want to keep on studying. No, nobody wants to study. The studying is a big headache. So who invented the studying? I don't know. So free will is there, but it's inhibited because you have to operate within these constraints. And so the child always wants to look for a time when father and mother are not there. So free will always inhibited for everybody, even adults also. Free will is there, but inhibited. Because sometimes we feel we are constrained. That constraint is called inhibition. And it's always there, but free will is there, very much. And the free will is really free in an act of prayer, prarthana, prayer. The free will is completely free. It's also important. We'll talk more about that. Yeah.
I have a question actually about free will before Bhagyaji raised. So question is this, and I want to put in the context also. So is it not free will Maya, Midya? I mean, to put it in context, now due to ignorance, uh, because we do not know the nature of ourselves, we go out to seek outside the world. Now in the outside world, we have a spectrum of kami karmas done by people. Like some people may do karmas enjoined by Vedas, we just read, or some people just do the kami karmas. So if in that range, two persons, if you take, one person have the type of problems, the other person also would have. Now take the context of recently the Hindi actor who died, Rajput. Now it is not that he do not have better life, right? Now at the same time, he has difficulties which many other people would have. But now he died, which means I would say that it is the karma, the prarabdha karma which is acting. Otherwise, the free will, he has the free will and other person also has the free will to decide upon. So the other person may take some decision not to kill himself, but this person killed himself, right? So, and the standard of living, quality of living is good for him. Now, with that comparison, it is actually, is it not that the karma which acted on him to end his life rather than the free will? Because free will is there. And that's why I'm calling it as free will is not Maya. That's the question.
Yeah. So there are two forces acting on us. One is our past karma. Okay, Prasad. And then our free will is there. Free will has the ability to, if there is punya karma, then it has a favorable impact on our life. And so whatever we do, then it's like you push the accelerator and then there is also wind blowing behind. And so the vehicle moves quickly. Quickly it moves. You don't have to press that much. Whereas if the wind is from the opposite side, Papa karma is acting. It's acting. It's acting to stop my movement. And then you have to press even more. You have to press harder. This is how these two forces are acting. Free will is a force. Karma is a force. In any endeavor, this is there. Now, so therefore, he took his life. It's an act of free will. And the fact that he had all these experiences, negative experiences, he was not encouraged by the community. All these stories we hear. So that's the setup that he came under. And so sometimes people do say that that karma played a big role here. Karma played a big role. And there is an element of free will. And because free will has the power to change, to influence past karma. Okay, remember that. Free will has the power to influence past karma. Because both are forces. One force can work in favor with, along with other karma, other forces. So both are possible. And so we have to be aware of this, Prasad. This is the key. We have to be aware of it. And so this suicide is a very, very difficult thing to handle. Very difficult. But it's another act. It's an act meant to minimize suffering. That person decides this is the best way to minimize my suffering. Correct? So that person is doing what he thinks is right at that moment. Even though in the heart of heart, they know it's not the right thing to do. But they are helpless. Helpless. Driven to a corner from where there is no turning around. And so it's the power of karma is very high in that case. Power of karma. The free will could not change his situation. He didn't have the ability to change the situation. That is what we normally say. It's a play of karma, Prasad.
So yeah, I mean, that is what I'm not able to reconcile between the prarabdha karma and the free will. Now, when the prarabdha karma completes, then it has to be ended, right? So in that case, it's only till that time we will be thinking of that, okay, I have the free will. It's not that way. Because it has to end.
So free will is there. Free will doesn't say that. Free will means I can use it anytime, however I want. Free will can be used. Free will can be underused. Free will can be overused. Free will can be abused. Correct? Free will is like a knife. I can use the knife any way I want. Okay? I can use a knife for the things that we normally use at home to cut vegetables, etc. We can use. It can be used to hurt others. It can be used to hurt oneself also. You cannot stop that. The knife doesn't come with written instructions. And even if it does, that free will is so powerful that it can override those instructions. It can violate those instructions. So reconciliation is difficult, but that is free will. Free will is like a free wheel. Swami used to give this example. Free wheel in the car. You can go anywhere you want. But can you go anywhere you want, really speaking, in your car? The roads are there. You can go only on the road. There are shops all over, left and right. People are crossing the roads all the time, in India especially. You really can't do whatever you want. It's inhibited. And where you have to use it properly, responsibly. So that is why we invoke. May I use my free will properly? It's an important prayer. Very important prayer. I am blessed to have a free will. May I use it? May I use it for the right things? May I use it for the right causes? Correct? May I not get carried away by my free will. Very important. Very important.
So can I understand this, that with the power of my free will, I can extend my life? I mean, I don't know what is my ending of life, but it is a possibility that with the power of my free will, it is a possibility that I can extend the life. I mean, for understanding purpose, can it put that way? Or?
So question is, can I use my free will to extend my life?
Yes. Is it a possibility? Because with power of my free will, there's a possibility that I can extend my life. Is it? Yes.
Yeah. Free will, of course, free will is there, and free will is very powerful. And so, yeah, you can extend your life. But how much can you extend your life?
Yeah, no, the concept purpose, yeah, it's not necessary.
With the limitations, you can extend your life. Yeah. With the limitations. Within a boundary. Like driving a car. You can drive a car wherever you want. Wherever you want. Wherever you want means what? There are only certain places where the car can go. And it can't fly. Definitely it can't fly. So therefore the whole Akasha, it can't go. The car is stuck on the road. But still you have the car. So you can use it. So that's how it works, Prasad.
Thank you.
Amy had a question, Jay Kumar.
Yeah, Sunita also raised her hand. And let's see. Sunita, are you there?
Yeah, I'm here.
Yeah, go ahead.
I just wanted to, when everybody is talking about free will, I was thinking free will, do we apply it for our Nitya Naimittika karmas and think that we are applying our free will to do that because it's a choice we make between certain karma that we do on a daily basis? Right? I can do this versus that.
Correct. Correct.
So you apply your free will, but it's actually not there because Shastras say you have to do your Nitya Naimittika karmas. But you think you apply your free will to make that choice.
Yeah.
Am I making sense?
Yeah. So Because you have free will, the Shastra says you must do these things. Otherwise, the Shastra cannot say that. And
Right. So it shows you two paths and says you have free will. Now make a choice.
make a choice. Nitya Naimittika karma are important, it says. And you have to choose to do it.
That's what I'm saying.
Because you can always choose not to do it.
So when you're forced to do this, it doesn't feel like you're applying your free will necessarily.
You're forced to do it. In fact, the fact you're saying you're forced shows you have free will. And these are all very interesting. It is. That's why, see, the Vedas, what is the purpose of the Vedas? If we didn't have free will at all, Vedas are not needed.
Right.
Vedas are not meant for somebody who does not have a free will. So, Dharmam Chara, Satyam Vada. Why Satyam Vada? Because I use my free will to lie. I use my free will to lie. And therefore, Veda has to come and say, hey, Satyam Vada. Satyam Vada. Keeps on saying that. So yeah, that's that. So therefore, using our free will properly is such an important thing. Dharma, and then it takes one level beyond dharma also. For moksha purthartha, it becomes even more important. Because I have to use my initiative to pursue moksha. Otherwise, it will not happen. Yeah, Ami, did you raise your hand?
I was referring to Bhagyaji's comment on Vasa. I think that was what the word was.
Vasana.
Vasana.
Yeah.
And to me, it seemed like it equals the word like. Now, I'm trying to really understand what it means, one. And to me, it means like if I like something, then that's where my free will is going to go, right? Won't Vasana and free will like be synonyms of each other?
Yeah, so Vasana is a technical word. Here what it means is, it means our tendencies. Tendency is called Vasana. Tendency. It comes from our past Janma, etc. Past Punya Papa drives our Vasanas. So Vasana means there are certain things you like to do. So the person likes music. Among music, one person likes rock music, another person likes classical music. We don't decide to like classical music. We don't decide to like rock music. That decision is not there. You hear it and then you begin to like it. And therefore, it just works. And nobody decides, no, I think it's like going to the store. Do I want to buy this brand or this brand or this brand? No, it's not like that. So that is called Vasana. Vasana means you're a package that comes with your bundle of likes and dislikes. And then you have to go with your like. Whatever you like, only you have to go with. You don't have a choice. You have to go with what you like. And so the Vasana drives it. But then, because free will is there, you can also say, I love Mysore Pak. I love Mysore Pak. Let's talk about Mysore Pak. Why not? At least in an example, we should be a little exotic and generous, Yeah, purely chocolate and all, that's not good. Mysore Pak. So I love Mysore Pak. One man here, Krishna Sweets, they arrested him because he came up with a Mysore Pak that cures corona, it seems. This is amazing.
Really?
And they showed a picture, and they took all these, several 1 or 2 lakh rupees worth of Mysore Pak. They confiscated it, seized. So at least they could have got it here in a few Mysore Paks. I don't mind testing. If some Ayurvedic this thing was there, I'll have some Mysore Pak. I don't mind. 2 in 1, buy one, get one free, So I love Mysore Pak, but I can exercise my free will and say, I've had 4 already, and it's better I don't go with the 5th one. I can say that. So free will is very much needed. Every time free will is called for. So our, the struggles, you look at the struggles people go through. Come to senior citizen home, you will know what all. And
can free will actually be used to curb vasana?
Okay, good question. That's a good question. So vasana already is there. It's something that is set in motion. So I can't change my vasana. And my love for sweets, free will cannot change. But free will can say, I love sweets. But you know what? I'm going to pass this time. I'm going to pass this time. And I say, what does it mean? It means I'm not changing my vasana. I'm not changing. I'm not telling my mind. I begin to hate Mysore Pak, because it's just damaged my health so much. I don't have to do that. I have to stop myself from reaching out to this Mysore Pak every time. That's all. So what will happen is the sting of the vasana will reduce, keep reducing in time. Vasana makes me do certain things. And I have the free will and I use the Shama Damadi. This is why Shama Dama and all come. And then I say, no, I love Mysore Pak. I continue to love it. But now, no, now I don't go after Mysore Pak like I used to go, like I used to do before. So what happens? The effect of vasana is reduced to a point where the vasana also may not be there. It appears as though the vasana was not there. So generally we don't say free will is used to neutralize the effects of the vasana, but not necessarily the vasana. Okay, that's how we say, Amin. Huh?
So isn't that a willpower?
What was the question?
I said that is willpower, right? To go against your vasanas.
Yeah. Free will power.
One question, Jayakumarji. We learned during Tattva Bodha that whatever a person does here, we said Atmanastu Kamaya Sarvam Priyam Bhavati. So whatever Prasad ji was saying, somebody committed suicide or something, or why he committed. Maybe not doing it was more problematic for him than doing it. So he also did it for his own pleasure, so to speak.
Yeah, exactly. So definitely free will is used very much there, and definitely the Purusharthas is very much there. So definitely the person wants to live happily. All that is there. And so he was left with no choice apparently. And the person knows also in the back of the mind, you know what? I'd rather be happy. Parameshwari, I'd rather be happy living, correct, than happy dead. You see the interesting thing there.
Mm-hmm.
He's also sad. He's dying, but he is as a sad man, very sad person. Because I want to live. Nobody wants to die, really speaking. Nobody wants to die. And so that's what makes this suicide something that's very hard to handle. Hard to handle for the people who survive, People who survive. People like us who see a suicide, we cannot handle it. Maybe it points to us also. I could have done something. That's why you see the interviews. Some of the actors say, I wish you could have reached out to me and all. One actor says that. So, could I have done something to have prevented this suicide? The thought can come. It's a very painful thought. If I had the ability to prevent a suicide, then I have to deal with it. Correct? And so look at that. It's amazing. Because if a person was so vulnerable and so helpless, there are people around that person. And if there are people who could have recognized it and done at least a little, then that becomes our dharma to do that little. So
But also on the same token that Atma is not destructible, so he decided to reject the body and get into something else. So after all, that is not bad. I mean, we say death is not bad. So
No, I don't think his argument was Atma is indestructible, but I can't
no,
live.
I'm saying is we say, okay, he could have prevented it. What I'm saying is that one way to look at is it's only a body which perished.
Yeah, so that is true. But that doesn't help this person. That doesn't help the family. It doesn't help the person who died. And it's not an argument we get into in this kind of a situation. And so the person must be there to hear this idea of Atma being indestructible, etc. And so, yeah, that's important. So in these situations, we generally don't invoke Vedanta. Although it is true, what you said is true. Yeah.
But it is not the good way to end the life, because we understand that as you go on to the next life, it is not how we wanted to start. Such a deep sorrow. And so it is not like replacement that I'm happy leaving the body, but it is the subtle body which actually goes through all this and go to the next life with the same vasanas and start the new life, right? So that's not the way one wants to end the life. Sorry.
Yeah, exactly. So it's a shock to everybody because everybody knows there's nobody in this world who really wants to die. That is very crystal clear. And that's why it shocks everybody. And so,
In this case, it seems like he was under clinical depression or something. He was on medication or off medication. It could have been that influence too. It's possible that, he was not in his, mental capacity to think clearly or something, because he's a very brilliant guy. If you read about him, I mean, he's I think some topper in an engineering entrance test, seventh in all over India or something. So, and he's a go-getter, right? If you look at his, there's a 50 bucket list of goals that he wanted to achieve, and he had goals like sending 100 poor kids to NASA. He was into astrophysics. So, I mean, if you look at all that, it also almost seems like it's just that one moment when he was in clinical depression and he didn't know what he was doing. Probably not a thought out.
This is a big topic because it highlights a problem in our own Indian society. So Mahesh ji and I were talking about it last week, and it's a problem. Pushing children to excel in academics and driving children insane. We are very good at, Indian society has become very good at doing this. And so we have to just think differently, completely differently, and get a better handle on life. And so that's very sad. So even though we say clinical depression and all that, that upbringing that he's had could have been, it's a factor in what, it's a fact. We don't know how big a factor it is. It's a factor.
He actually dropped out of engineering college, I believe. And and he became an actor, a very successful actor. So it was not like, nobody was forcing him to do all that. His family was totally hands off and everything. So it was not that kind, but whatever.
Yeah.
But there is a new thing that I read in last night, that Subramanian Swamiji is going to ask the CBI to probe into this matter, because it seems that there can be a couple of fishy points that have happened, just the way they've done their autopsy and figured out the strangulation marks and stuff like that, that the noose cannot be in a certain way and stuff like that. So they are going to look into it, and he's asked some lawyers to look into the case and see if CBI can start probing into this. So they think that it's not necessarily been a very clear-cut suicide attempt. It could have been something else made to look like one.
Okay. Good. So important questions and important points to mull about, think about. and glad all of you are talking about it. So we'll conclude now with the chanting of Dhanvantari mantra. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Dhanvantaraya Amritakalasahastaaya Sarvamaya Vinashanaya Trailokyanataya Shri Mahavishnave Namaha. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Dhanvantaraya Amritakalasahastaaya Sarvamaya Vinashanaya Trailokyanataya Shri Mahavishnave Namaha. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya धन्वन्तरये अमृतकलशहस्ताय सर्वामय विनाशनाय त्रैलोक्यनाथाय श्री महाविष्णवे नमः. Yeah, thank you.